Tonight we've got double the trouble here on the after show of Good Girls. We are covering episodes 8 and 9, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Put your phone out, gotta hit them angles. Put your phone out, snapping like you Fable.
Yes,
Up,
I know.
right.
Welcome, everyone.
But it's all right.
We are jamming out tonight. We have 2 episodes tonight.
We do.
We got so much to talk about. We're
I
hanging
feel like
out,
Good
we're having a
Girls
good time.
puts me in as good as mood as like Drake songs. So
Yeah.
that says a lot.
That does say a lot. Especially this song. I am really enjoying this song. And so are you. Hey guys, welcome. I'm Kelsey Hightower, and to my left is the beautiful Bonjour. Say hello.
Hi everybody. So excited to talk about this episode. I'm hoping this music won't stop, but I know it will, but it's okay.
I know. You're just gonna keep dancing until we like fade the music. Like maybe we could just keep it like low the whole episode. I know.
Unfortunately not, but it's okay. All good things come to an end.
I know. Maybe we can like bring it back at the end of the episode. Wink, wink, you know, at the end of our show. We were not here. We're so sorry. We missed you guys last week, but we are back. We are talking about episode 8, Shutdown, and episode 9, Shark something or other. What is it? Sharks in the water. Summer of the Shark.
Just like Jaws.
Just like Jaws. I was thinking that the whole time I watched it. Da, 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 da. And we didn't find out why it was like that until like the middle of the episode. And it's pretty funny. It's pretty, TMI. We'll
Right.
just say that.
They're
as,
pretty clever with their
everything.
show names, I've noticed.
They are. I really, really dig them.
Good writing there.
So first of all, we'll talk about a little bit of episode 8, just kind of the generalities, and then we will go on to episode 9, and then next week is going to be the season finale. I can't believe it. It's
So
like
quick.
It
It's
always
so
comes so
quick.
quick. I know. But what were your overall thoughts on episode 8? Shutdown.
Shutdown. Episode 8, yeah, was really, really good.
Yeah.
Between the two, I have to say 9 is my favorite, so we'll
Okay.
get to that.
Okay.
But 8 was still pretty strong.
I would agree. Between the two of them, I'm excited about episode 9. It really put me in like, I can't wait until the season finale. Like I can't wait to see episode 10. But a lot of things happened in 8. And we kind of saw maybe a little foreshadowing. We got a little bit of information and some more people got involved. So the big thing that we saw from episode 8 was I thought Ruby's daughter, Sarah, she kind of got into trouble at school. And she was moving and pushing some fidget spinners around.
Like mother, like daughter.
Like mother, like daughter. And so we really saw that, and it freaked Ruby out a little bit because she was like, you're going to turn into me, like you're doing exactly what I'm doing. And it was just, it was a scary, scary thing.
It was scary because not only what she's doing, but I think she was also scared of the fact that she knew the lingo and she was down with the whole knit lingo.
Yes.
And it kind of made me think of something that we've seen these characters, right, throughout the season just completely dramatically change their lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like for some of them, it's just in them. And they have like this gangster criminal aspect that they didn't know that they had. And so is it in the genes is my question? Like what's going on? Because the daughter's not aware of what's going on unless she
Right.
is. Do you think she's aware? Do you think she's not aware? Do you think she's
Kids,
hypersensitive?
kids do pick up on like the craziest things. Like they pick up on, how like your mood and all that stuff. That's why they say like the first 5 years is like so important because, they even like when you're pregnant, they like sense everything and they're like, they say, I mean, like I've never had a kid, so I don't really know, but like a lot of friends and families, like I'm the oldest of like all of my siblings. So I got to see like my parents, my mom, pregnant and stuff, but like you can sing to them and talk to them like when they're in the belly,
Right,
and
but,
they like
I
can
feel
sense
like
things.
these
and
characters
stuff.
have done a good job at hiding things. So do you
It's
think
true.
she can sense this?
I mean, they do to an extent. I mean, I think with Sarah probably more, but the gang members came over to Beth's house and they were helping tutor her son for that like a glimpse of an episode. So I mean, like the girls hide it, but like also they keep showing up.
They do, and I wonder, something we haven't really explored is that obviously we have really, really strong friendship amongst these three women, their family.
Yeah.
But what about their kids interact? We've seen them interact with each other's kids, but not the kids.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible, like you're saying, like they're very, they notice things and they're like, oh, what was that weird guy that
Like
came over
that's
the house?
different, or
Blah,
like
blah,
things. Mom's acting a little different, like a little bit more secretive and things. And you know, she was hiding, not having a job. So maybe like they picked up on that too. Well, and Sarah has picked up on that they don't have money because she was she stopped taking her pills for a while, her kidney pills, because she was like, we're poor and stuff like that. So I think they might pick up on some things, but I don't know that they know the full extent of the whole crime that's going on.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll
I don't
discuss
know.
more
What
in
do you
predictions.
think, though?
We'll discuss more in predictions.
Okay. Put a pin in it. Let us know what you think in the comments below as well. You can always chat with us, and we'll chat back. So we saw that with Sarah and that family. We also saw Ruby. She got a new job. She is working at the donut store. So it was kind of fun to see everybody back into like the regular old grind, kind of the big struggle again, and how it's kind of so easy to go back into that. What did you think about seeing them in like their old jobs, or like Annie's picking up double shifts, Ruby is at the donut place? Like, what did you think about them kind of like going full circle back into their job?
Their so-called normal life,
Yeah.
air quotes for normal. I thought it was very interesting, and it was it just showed a lot about these characters and how they're able to go through so many crazy experiences and then kind of pick up where they left off. You could tell that a lot of them were struggling with a few. I felt like Ruby was the one who was dealing with this transition as easy as she could. She was definitely stressed about money, not crazy about her job, but I would really compare to Beth, for instance. Beth had those worries, but I felt what more importantly, she was just missing the gangsta life, you know?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I still think she's missing Rio. I think that's what it is too, you know, because that whole flame situation, which will it ever happen? I don't know. We have to talk about that after episode 9.
Yeah. I think she also, and we've mentioned this before, she lived a really just a life that was by the book, you know, had a to-do list every day, and like most people do, but she was knocking things off, versus now she's just missing this thrill. I think it really was a thrill. She's never really admitted it, but we can see it. Like, do you agree or no?
Well, that she misses it, but also I think she just doesn't like that whole mom doing yoga, just spending your time dolled up and looking good for your man, and like your life revolves around him and your kids, because you can kind of see that when they're at the playground, like pushing the kids and stuff, that she's just like not having a good time.
Right. I feel
it's
like
just not fun for her.
It's not. It seems like she's sleepwalking through life.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So we see that, and then we also see Annie. She's picking up extra shifts, late shifts at the grocery store, and I mean, Boomer Leslie. I kind of want to just call him Leslie from now on, because that just fits his character's personality so well. But he's like, you know, giving her a hard time cleaning the bathrooms and stuff like that, and she just has to take it. I mean, talk about like, you know, knocking you off your pedestal, you know, really taking a gulp out of the pride. You know,
she has a kid that she loves, Sadie, and you know what? You do what you gotta do, and she's just, you can tell she wants to slap him, she wants to run away and never see him ever again, but that's not really in the cards right now. So kudos to her to just, you know, just suck it up, man. Just sucking it up.
You just have to do those jobs you don't want to do, you know, just go into that, making the money, making a little bit to survive. So the girls are kind of like in this limbo of, when are we going to get back to it? Like, when are we going to have like our money again and all that kind of stuff. But then we go through the episode, and tying back into Ruby and Stan and their family dynamic, they take Sarah, their little daughter, to prison, to jail, to see what it's like. And I mean, it scared the bejesus out of Ruby, not so much Sarah. I mean,
she was definitely scared. But,
yeah.
But Ruby was really like, get me out of here. And that was a funny dynamic, right?
It was.
She went to go scare her poor kid.
And she, like, gets so scared, so...
And
yeah.
I think it really hits her because obviously she's known that she's been involved in criminal activity, but now that she's really faced with the consequences, and even the thought of being away from her family and her own kid, that must take a toll. And it definitely does, as we see.
Yes. And I mean, she talks about like the small space and just all the horrible things about, you know, being in jail. Because I think once she's behind the bars, she like is picturing it and she's like, oh my gosh.
You have to go number 1 and 2, all of the numbers.
All the numbers
in front of everyone.
In front of other people. And
so stay in school, kids.
Yes, that is a lesson for tonight. Did you ever have to go do like a tour of the jail, like as a kid or anything? Okay.
What?
I don't know. Like I feel like.
Did you?
I can't exactly remember. I definitely saw. Okay.
Is this a school trip I like missed? Oh my gosh. Well, guys, if you have partaking in this
like
excursion,
scared you out of like doing the life of crime.
Oh my gosh, no! But guys, please, yeah, if you
have like, you know,
go on our iTunes, leave us a comment, and also while you're at it, give us, you know, a rating, 5 stars. Like, what else would you do? Go on our YouTube, like us, and also while you're at it, also check out other AfterBuzz shows because there's so much to offer there. Back to you.
But back to jail. You know, oh my goodness, it's a scary place. But okay, so everyone's scared. It almost scares her out of a life of crime, but we see coming up that it doesn't scare her enough. So the episode ends with a note that Beth. Okay, big part here before we jump to the very ending. They have to go because they're out of money. They're trying to come up with another source of income, and was that a noise? Sound effects, it's happening. So they go to spas because Annie's ex's wife, right? They're married. No, they're not married. They're engaged? Married. Okay, they are married. She owns like all these spas, and so they go and they're going to try and take all the product because it's very, very fancy, and then try and sell that on the streets. So that is kind of their new plan as far as how they're going to make a lot of money really quickly. So they try to do that. It ends up being a bust because they can't sell it. And so Annie has the guy that, you know, actually sold Boomer all those drugs to set up Annie. He does not come through for Annie. And so they have to take it to another source. Dean actually helps sell and push their product.
Yep.
So Dean's coming through a little bit.
Yes, it was weird for once to see him save the day. We're used to seeing him definitely not save the day and kind of ruin many days. So
his character went from rock bottom at the beginning to kind of almost a redeeming quality.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, you're not going that far.
Less of a loser. Let's just say less of a loser is what I'll give him.
I think he's having a little bit of hope. Like he's been trying to redeem himself, although I will say this whole cancer ploy that he keeps singing is just really going to knock him back down.
Right. Isn't it crazy how we still haven't tapped into that much? It comes up really not often, and very quickly in very few scenes.
It's like an afterthought almost.
Well, there's so much going on too. When I make that point,
when are you gonna fit it in?
And then I'm like, they just unfortunately only have 40 minutes worth.
And we don't want to spend too much time focused on Dean. I mean, it's about the girls. It's less about him.
And the life of crime.
So Dean comes through, and then at the end, Beth actually ends up telling him exactly what they have been doing about the counterfeit money and the crime and all that stuff. So Dean has now come over to the other side. So he's kind of on their team a little bit. He knows all the information, so he's in it. So he's there. And then at jail, whenever they went to visit jail, Ruby and Stan get a little smoochy over there, and Ruby finds the picture of that gangster guy who has been talking to the cops. So that is the big piece of information that we get out of this episode.
Yeah, and not a good one, not a good piece of information you want to hear.
No, not at all. So that's where we end for episode 8. And then it's kind of left on a cliffhanger there. Like, what are we going to do with this guy? Like, he's talking to the cops. How much has he told him? Does he know the girls' names? All that stuff. So there's a lot of unanswered questions there. So before we move on to episode 9, do you want to talk about this
An amazing podcast?
great podcast that we have
Of
coming
course.
up?
I want everybody to know about this amazing podcast.
Okay, tell us more information. How amazing is it, and what kind of amazing?
Want to have fun, learn, and grow in all aspects of your life?
Yes, I do.
Okay, for those who do, we have a podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. It's hosted by our AFTERBUZZ founder, Maria Menounos, and it drops every Friday on iTunes.
For free.
Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life.
Yes.
From health and wellness to career and relationship, finance, and more, let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free, as you mentioned. But we should mention it again. It's for free.
For free.
Be sure to rate and comment. And when you do, let Maria know that we...
The good girls.
The Good Girl After Show.
Yeah.
Are the ones who brought you here and told you all about it. Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition. Check it out.
I love it. That was amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And Maria's an amazing person. And I feel like this show, Good Girls, is so inspirational as far as like women power, and we're awesome women, and Maria is an awesome woman, and there's lots of like great things.
We're awesome women.
And we're awesome as well.
But no, to your point, it's true that, this is very much so in the genre. If you like Good Girls, there's a very, very good chance you're going to love Maria's podcast. So do go check that out.
Yes, you for sure are going to.
But now I'm very excited to talk about.
Okay, here we go. Episode 9, Summer of Sharks. This is just coming like so much in this episode, building up to the finale, and it's gonna be a big one. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're really sinking our teeth into it. Ooh. Bad pun.
I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Yes. So Annie and her ex slept together, and that was they both knew it was a bad decision, and they both admitted it. And then Annie felt bad whenever they were she found out that him and his wife are trying to have a baby. And so she freaked out. She was really upset, and she's now staying with Beth. And so she's got to go to her sister and just, have her sister not really take care of her, but just hang out with her and
just
stuff.
Be there
and
for her.
Yeah, go through her with that.
Good sisters should.
And that's good. But then we also kind of see her and Dean's relationship, which I thought was hilarious, as far as they just don't like each other, but they're, putting up with each other for Beth's sake.
Yeah, and they are family. They've been each other's lives for about 20 years, 4 kids later. I know. So, 4 nieces and nephews for her. So that's bound to happen. She's from the top said that she didn't like him. Thinks he's kind of a moron. She's not afraid to say that.
Outspoken about it.
Very so.
Yes.
Much so. One thing I really appreciated her is that she's a real sister in the sense where she's calling her out.
Yeah.
He's trying to get back with you. Don't get all charmed up about what's going on. He was sleeping with another woman, almost left you bankrupt with nothing. Do not forget that, because it's easy when you're under the same roof to kind of slowly forget that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that there's a character saying that, because can you deny that or not that this has been a storyline that kind of pushing? They're trying to slowly make him into a good guy.
Yes, well, that's what I was saying for the last episode, is he's having these redeeming qualities to where it's we kind of want to like him, but Annie's there being the voice of reason. Right. Like you're saying.
I just really don't want people to forget. I don't want them to get back together. We need to remember what he's done. And I've only mentioned those 2 things. We keep on forgetting because they don't mention it a lot. He's pretending to have cancer.
He doesn't have cancer. He's faking it. I know.
Who toys with someone's emotions like that? Who pretends that they're dying? Goes to secret doctors.
I know. Okay, we're getting heated here. So we also see in this episode, really big plot point is they have a new job with the gangsters, and it's all about the trucks. There's this yellow truck, and they have to drive it somewhere. And the girls go back and forth as to if they should take the job or if they shouldn't. So I was very curious about this. Like, throughout the episode, I was watching it, and it was like, what is in the truck? Like, what's it going to be? It's going to be like when they went to Canada again. Yeah. Is it going to be wrapping paper? They kept saying dead bodies. I don't know. Did you have, like, what were you thinking during that moment?
Honestly, at that moment, I was like, we're so many episodes in. Stop worrying about what's in the truck. Just freaking move the truck. Like, don't be stressing about, like, I know it's a stressful situation. It's less than ideal. It's not your local bake sale. But just use it. You know, you have a mission, and the more questions you ask, the more you worry about what's actually going on. You're just messing with your mind. You just have to be in and out and do what you got to do.
That's true too. I liked when they didn't know what was in the truck. It's almost better not to know, because like when they went and got everything from Canada, it turned out to be wrapping paper, but they honestly like didn't know what they were doing, and it was almost better that way. So
another thing I would like to mention is that I thought it was interesting how they flipped it, and it seemed like Ruby was the one really motivating this, because her daughter is getting sicker, and she has extra motivation.
Yeah, she has to be able to afford the kidney.
Right,
for
but what
Sarah.
we've seen in the past, it's always Beth trying to convince them, okay, let's do this, and Beth trying to convince them, and I'm like, I don't want to see that storyline again. We've seen it so many times, so it's kind of nice to see that shift. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and we've kind of seen all of the girls want to get into it. I mean, Annie's the one that wants, like, well, she's the one that's needing it for a lawyer for custody, and then Beth's needed it, and then now Ruby's had a turn to do it. So it is cool to see, like, each one of them be motivated to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the trucks?
Yeah.
Specifically,
what about the trucks?
Like
the
know.
Trucks themselves, they're dirty and gross.
How they were trying to move these trucks, and I felt like it was they're just switching lanes, they're one behind the other. I'm like, what are you doing?
And they're driving like all together in a line, like, you know, that's a big signal, like, and look at us, we're driving a bright yellow truck. That would be, I mean, I don't want to say like that would be like if AfterBuzz had it, but like it's yellow, like AfterBuzz. Like, can you imagine if we all had like yellow cars? That would be kind of fun.
It was so suspicious.
They were just creepy.
It was so suspicious. Finally, thank God they went in different directions, but it took them a minute. They're on the highway just switching lanes, like back and forth between each other. I'm like, how has no one called the cops yet? This looks so strange.
Yeah.
You see trucks on the highway all the time, but never like that. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, you're just drawing attention to yourself at that point. So, but okay. I thought they're like talking to themselves in the truck, but have you ever been in different cars and you have like walkie-talkies and you're actually like communicating back?
What is this life
you're not living? There's so much left to live.
You're going to prisons. You have walkie-talkies. I have a cell phone, bro.
Do you remember the day before there were cell phones? Also, it turns out Good Girls is really based on my life. Plot twist! Just kidding. But no, like, we took road trips across, you know, like, the country a little bit. Not, like, the whole country, but, you know, we would be, like, doing walkies and stuff, like, when I was a kid.
I enjoyed the walkies in this episode. I think it was cool.
Really fun. If you're ever moving, like, I had some of my friends, they moved out to California, out to LA, and they had like moving trucks, and so it like took more than one, and they also did like walkie-talkies, and it's just really fun. So I would suggest it. I really related to that part of this episode specifically.
Yeah. What were your thoughts when one of them gets pulled over?
Okay, this was stressful for me. I felt so stressed during this moment. Beth is like, I mean, we've seen this throughout the series where the girls are like, okay, this is what's going to happen when we die, and we're all about to die. Guns are, you know, pointed at our heads, and we don't know what to do. So they're like telling, like, this is take care of my kids, take care of, you know, my husband, take care of Stan. He's the only good guy. But this time it really felt real. Like, she was like, you know, I mean, you know, nothing's going to really happen, I feel like, but
I don't know, man. It seemed, especially because we had the whole prison scene. Yeah. I just felt it was very sad, and the fact that she was like, he's gonna need help. He's gonna need a village. She's counting on her family. She's gonna write it all down.
The way that she just was in that moment, it felt more real than other moments, I think. And since it was just her and the other girls were safe, it kind of felt like it could have happened.
For sure.
And have you ever been? I've been pulled over, like for speeding and stuff. I don't know. Have you ever been pulled over? Or is this another one where I'm alone?
That's one when you're alone. I'm like, oh, there's no wood here, so knocking on something.
I'm knocking on something. Well, I feel like girl cops are scarier than guy cops sometimes.
That was an intimidating. What's the word?
Interesting?
No, intimidating.
Oh, intimidating.
Cop for sure.
Yes, she
was not playing around.
Yeah, she did a good job acting wise as far as like her character. But yeah, I felt like that was almost more scary than if a guy would have done that, because Beth could have talked her way out if it was a guy, I think.
Yeah, she did a good job with the whole. She always comes up on her feet. Like if this whole criminal activity does not pan out, she needs to be an actress because she's really good.
Like on the show,
she
like,
really is.
Her character needs to do it. Yeah,
her improv skills are on point. So I think that was a smart way where she was like, I don't know about the truck. This guy is helping me run away from an abusive relationship. Mm-hmm. So. That was smart. She thinks on her feet.
She does think on her feet, and it would have been better than. I was thinking, like, of all three of them, she's the best person to get pulled over. Because can you imagine if, like, Annie was getting pulled over? Mm-hmm. She would just be like, I don't know.
She'd say something so much worse.
Yes.
Nothing's in the truck. Like, just
I know. So, yeah, it was good that it was Beth. And they got to the moment just, like, when they did the Canada, what would you call it? Like,
big reveal. Just like cut to commercial right away.
Exactly. Of course, as they do. And nothing was in the truck.
I know. I thought that was so surprising at this point that Rio's still making them go through tests. Mm-hmm. It's like they've done a lot. They complain a lot, but I feel like they seem to be trustworthy.
Like, they're in it. Like, they are in this business with the gang, guys.
Right. Why are you still testing them this far along? It didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. And I thought that Rio especially would trust Beth so much more. Like, I feel like he's still kind of in love with her. Like, still...
Yeah. I wouldn't go with in love, but definitely in, like, lust.
Yeah, I mean, totally. Like, he still wants to hook up with her, I think.
Yeah, I think and even may that be true or not, something we cannot deny is that he does have respect for her. Mm-hmm. He's like, who is this little housewife? Like, who is she?
Yeah.
And, yeah, I thought that was it was a really cool storyline. Why do you think he's texting them, though? Why? Do you know? Like, what's your opinion on that?
Why he's testing them? I couldn't tell you. I don't know why he's doing that, but Beth has like been fed up with it, and so she's like kind of at her breaking point. Like, that was like too much for her. She's like, I'm over this, and she like throws the keys at him,
like in his face,
like aggressively, and he's like, you're done, like cutting ties, this is it. And that puts her in another like wave of worry, because now she's like, he's going to get rid of us. That's what you do, is you get rid of the rotten egg, And so they're all really scared as far as like how to move forward with this.
And then we have like a second and more emotional, she had said, if I go away or blah, blah, I'm here, I'll write it all down. She does this huge
it was so beautiful, this whole calendar.
It was just pulling on my heartstrings,
or
she was just, it was beautiful too. So many colors and stickers and color schemes.
Yeah.
But it was also very emotional to see this poor mother literally thinking of every possible thing that she needs to write down. It's her legacy. And that huge piece of paper was her legacy as a parent.
Yeah.
So intense.
It was so interesting and weird to see all of them, how they would say goodbye to their family, essentially. Like, that was Beth's. And then Annie, she's parked outside of the house of her ex's house, and she's like calling Sadie and like leaving these voicemails, like just trying to be like, I love you, like these are the things that I love about you, and you're the coolest kid, and all this
trying
stuff.
to find the words but just like in a typical Annie way, she always kind of struggles with that. She couldn't really find the words.
I know. And of course something goes wrong, and like she can't leave a voicemail because it just keeps cutting her off. That is the most frustrating thing. I have been there where it's like, you're trying to leave a voicemail, and it's like, the voicemail is full. Like, would you like to leave a message again? And you're like trying to do it like quicker, and you're like, yes, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like cutting off, and you're just like, come on, I can't get it in. So, and especially when it's, that important, when it's your goodbye. that's tough. And then I thought it was kind of crazy that Ruby is trying to tell Stan everything because she's like, this is it. I got to be open and honest. Like, that's been their whole relationship, you know, aside from the whole crime thing that she hasn't told him about. But she can't get it out. She almost does, and then they get really good news that her daughter's going to get a kidney.
Yay, which we've been waiting for. So,
I know. That's what I've been wanting, is just for Sarah to be like healthy and happy and like a normal kid again.
Yeah, and I think also this show does it made me think like if you are okay with it, it's important to be a organ donor. Like, think of how much that's impacted these characters, and this happens every day. So I really, people listening, I really encourage you, if you feel like this is the right decision for you, go to the DMV, let them know that you're an organ donor, and they'll just put that on your ID, and it'll be, I think hopefully some good outcome can come of a terrible situation.
Saving a life.
Yeah.
How to save a life. But also when they got the call, it was they were saying something about a drunk driver, and for a split second I thought that maybe it was one of the other girls, like the gang had set them up and was gonna like hit them or do something to them or something like that. So for a split second I was worried about it, but it turned out to be such good news. I mean, sad situation, but like good that she's gonna get a kidney. So I mean, that's crazy. And so she never got to tell Stan what she's involved in.
Right.
I know. And then it was kind of funny. They did have a nice little moment, just really quickly, about when they got high. I just thought that was such a big thing, and it was just so cute to see their relationship, like,
just like relaxing. Just relaxing.
We saw that earlier, so that was good. But it really left a cliffhanger right there. So now looking forward for the finale, we have some interesting stuff coming up. Is there anything else in this episode that you wanted to address before we move on to talking about predictions in episode 10?
I think it was just the fight between I forget her ex-husband's name. Sadie's dad.
Sadie's dad. Yes.
Sadie's
so
dad.
Annie and her ex.
Annie and her ex. I thought that was just whenever they interact, they end up they're joking around and then they end up in a fight. So that was yet another fight, and he knows her so well. I think it was just another way to show how well these characters know each other, because he knows something's up. Mm-hmm. He knows she's not doing okay, and there's something really not, that's not doing well. So I want to see what happens with that.
What happens with that?
And then another thing I was really surprised about is Beth says, they're going to get rid of her because, they know too much. Mm-hmm. And they're going after Rio. Like, I thought that was the biggest cliffhanger of all. I'm like, why would, it seems like such a huge risk to me. And I don't really feel like he's shown to be such a huge threat. Like, yes, he has pulled a gun on her multiple times.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think it's going to be tough. So,
all right.
It's going to be tough.
That being said, let's talk about predictions.
Mm-hmm. And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Dun dun dun! Okay, next week is the finale, episode 10. It came up so quickly, and there's still so much left that has not been addressed. Just going off of what you mentioned, the girls are going to go after Rio and the gang, and I originally was thinking during this episode that the girls would tell Rio, like, join his side and let him know that his rotten egg is in jail. So kind of let him know that he's got somebody on the inside talking to the cops, because that would gain the trust back again. I think there's two ways that it could go. Either the girls are going to pair up with the cop, or the girls are going to pair up with Rio, and they really have either option open right now.
Right.
So that's not really a prediction, but that's what I think. It's either one way or another. It's either going with the cops and try to, put him in jail and come out on top, or they're either going to tell Rio that they've got someone on the inside who's talking to the cops and that they're in trouble, and that's going to gain the trust back.
Right.
That's where I'm at right now.
I think that's the
what
really,
do you think
yeah,
about
I think
the?
that's a really good point. I definitely either of those two things I see happening.
I don't know which one though. It's so tough.
I think a couple things. So this housewife that's blackmailing them for money.
Yes.
I see that coming to an end. I know that we saw Boomer put a recording device in her home.
He's so sneaky.
He is very sneaky. So he's going to find out more about what's going on. Yet I think that he's still, in a typical Boomer way, is going to be, he's not going to win this, right? He's going to find information, but yet he's going to put his foot in his mouth or something's going to happen. He's going to be pushed to the side again. I see that as kind of as his character in general. He's not the one figuring out this whole investigation. He's just digging deeper holes for himself. And something that maybe is a stretch, actually definitely a stretch, but that could happen if they are serious about getting rid of Rio, and that's their whole game plan. I think Beth might be the new Rio.
Ooh.
She takes over. She takes over as the big mafioso, badass
I like
that she is.
That could be season 2.
Yeah, and
Beth's
Beth could be like a good girl, like Sopranos, right?
Yeah.
It's become Sopranos, and
she's
gonna be the main boss.
I would love to see that. That would be so much fun, especially going into season 2. You know, like take the gang out, and we've got a new girl on top.
I mean, and I think you agree because we've talked about this, and I've seen people in the comments and the chats and stuff. People love Beth when she's being fed that more, when she's given more to be more powerful, and we can see more of these qualities that we haven't seen yet. That she just can take charge and just be a boss. So
I know.
I would love to see more of that. I'm gonna see the finale and season 2,
that
which hopefully we'll have.
Is a great prediction. And if you guys have predictions, definitely leave those below in the comment section and let us know what your predictions are for the season finale. Just a couple quick predictions that I have. Stan, we kind of saw it in the promo. All the promo gave us was that Stan and Ruby are going to talk about what has been going on. So she's going to tell him exactly about all the crime that they've done. And we just saw a gun, and we saw a lot of cop cars. So the promo didn't really give us a whole lot there. But I think that Stan's going to find out, and that Dean is going to talk about not having cancer. I think that's going to be a big storyline. And then something's going to happen with Annie and her ex. Like, it's been boiling up for a while, so I'm curious to see where that's going to go. Any small predictions as far as like the families go?
Well, I think you bring up a good point about the cancer thing, is that it's been such a small storyline, even though, and when you hear the storyline, it seems like a huge storyline, but they played it out so small. Yeah. So I don't know if they're really just banking that for next season, or if there's going to be a big explosion in the finale. Yeah. With that thing.
I don't know.
Something needs to happen.
Something needs to happen. And sadly, we still don't know, talking about next season, if it's going to get picked up or not. Yeah. So we still don't have news on that.
That's why make sure to tune into this finale. DVR, right? Tell all your friends to DVR, right? Because big numbers on a big finale can mean big things for television. And we enjoy this show so much. We enjoy this after show so much.
I know. We want to be back next season.
We want to be back and sharing with you guys. It's so much fun seeing all the comments and you guys interacting with us. We enjoy it so much. So thank you, everybody.
I know. Thank you, guys. And be sure to leave a comment below, subscribe, give us 5 stars on iTunes.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. And go ahead and tell the good people where they can find you and find us next week.
Well, the good people, you can find me on Instagram at Bonjour Juliet, which is hello in French. Hello. And then my name, Juliet, however you want to say it. I also do the Trust After Show, which is an FX show on Getty's kidnapping and the Getty family in general. So really good, fun after show if you want to go check that out. And I also do the Tomorrow Show with Kevin Undergaro, which you can check out tomorrowshow.com. And that's a fun late night show where Kevin, our co-founder with Maria, just gives us a lot of tidbits on the industry, on how to save money, and we have really cool interviews there as well. And I also do a lot of red carpets for AfterBuzz, so just go to YouTube and type my name, Juliet Vibert, and check that all out, and I really appreciate it. How about you?
I know, and you guys can type my name, Kelsey Hightower, in as well, or you can find me on Instagram at Kels Hightower. And thank you so much for watching. We will be right back here next week, same time, same place. And until then, We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.